My fellow nerdikins, welcome back to another episode of That's So Nerdy. What we're going over on this episode is another deck profile. This time we're going to go over my deck profile for Gotenks Extravagant Assault. So, he's a green leader, and come on, focus. There we go. When this card attacks, draw one card. When your life is at 4 or less, or you have a green unison with a specified cost of 2 in play, you may draw one card, switch up to one of your energy to active mode, add cards from your life to your hand until you have 6 left, and then flip this card over. Alright, so that's going to be our leader for, obviously, this Gotenks deck. I do have a yellow Gotenks deck as well, which is pretty sweet. I like that one also, but it needs a little bit of work. I haven't messed around with it in a while. So let's just never mind that one and get right into what we're running in this deck. So what we're going to start with is our Unison. And what we're running is Super Saiyan 3 Vegito, Peerless Warrior. Because once per turn, he has an auto that when you activate a union skill, you get to draw a card. Which, obviously, in a Gotenks deck, there's going to be a lot of union done. To add 2 markers, you choose all of your mono green battle cards, and they gain revenge until the start of your next turn. And then once you remove 7 markers, if your leader card is mono green, look it up. Your opponent's life, place 1 card among them in the drop area, then your opponent shuffles their life, chooses 3 cards in their hand, and discards them. Awesome unison right there. And we're running 2 copies because that's all we have in our collection. I'd love to be able to run 4 copies, but I only have 2 available to me right now. So next thing we're running is going to be... Oops, didn't mean to bump the camera there. Sorry about that. Trunks Bridge to the Future. 5,000 power, 5,000 combo. Main reason we're running him is for his auto ability. When you play this card, you look at up to 2 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to 1 Saiyan among them, and add it to your hand, then place the rest of the cards in the drop area. So, everything in this deck, with the exception of Zarbon and Piccolo, are Saiyans. And the only reason that these 2 are in here are because I ran out of super combos and I needed a full set of super combo. Alright, so next card we're running is Gokuel, the legendary fusion warrior. 1001 power, yes, that is correct. 5,000 combo. It's got an auto ability. When this card is played, add 1 green card with an energy cost of 6 or less and a union fusion skill from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Which is awesome in this deck because half of our union fusion cards are green, because we are actually running a dual color deck. It's green and red. So it's also got an activate main. You pay green mana, place this card in its owner's drop area, choose 1 card in your hand. The Union Fusion skill, reveal it. For each character name required for the revealed cards, Union skill, add up to 1 card with the matching character name and energy cost between 3 and 7 from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck. OP in this Union Fusion deck, for sure. Next we're running, and we're running 4 copies of that Gokuel. So next thing we're running is Vegeta the Lone Prince. As you can see, he's one of our super combos. This is the super combo that I'd like to have 4, but unfortunately I only have 2 that aren't currently occupied by other decks. So he's got a permanent ability. This card can't be played with skills from any area. Auto ability, if your leader card is green and your life is at 4 or less, when you use this card in a combo, you get to draw a card, which is pretty standard. And then it's got another auto ability. If your leader card is mono green, when this card is played, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and discards it, which is awesome. So you 1-drop this onto the battlefield, make your opponent discard 1 card from their hand, and then you can use it with a super combo later for the draw ability. And then, as I mentioned before, we're running Zarbon the Gorgeous, other super combo. If your leader is green, your life is a 4 or less, you get to draw a card. Same defensive stance Piccolo, he's got the same exact ability. Like I said before, I'm just running them because I needed to fill out my super combos. And I didn't have any more Lone Prince Vegetas because I'd love to have the full play set of them in this deck, but they're preoccupied in a deck that need them more, so. Next thing we are running is Tiny Rivals Trunks. He's got 15,000 power, 5,000 combo, he's got critical, and then a permanent that if Tiny Rival Sun Goten is in play in your battle area, this card gains 5,000 power and double strike. So by itself, it's 15,000, but if you have Tiny Rival Sun Goten, Tiny Rival Sun Goten on the board, he becomes a 20,000 with double strike, which is awesome. And then next, you guessed it, Tiny Rival Sun Goten. He's got Barrier, 15,000 power, 5,000 combo, and a permanent ability, same as Tiny Rival Trunks. If Tiny Rival Trunks is in the battle area, he gets plus 5,000 and double strike. Awesome, awesome abilities by themselves, even before the fusion mechanic comes into play. Awesome ability. Next, and we're running 4 of each of those. And then next on the list is going to be Trunks Bonds of Friendship. It is a 15,000 power, 5,000 combo, and it's got an activate main. Pay green energy if your leader card is Green Gotenks card, and you discard this card from your hand, play, or add to your hand up to 1 green Sun Goten card with an energy cost of 3 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. When this card is discarded from your hand by a Union skill, look it up to 7 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 green Unison card with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Which is awesome because our Unison Vegito is a 2-drop. So that is awesome. And we're running 4 of those. Next, we're running Sun Goten, Bonds of Friendship. The counterpart to Trunks, Bonds of Friendship. Imagine that. So, same power, same combo. This one, however, has critical and an activate main, which is the same as Trunks. Except the opposite, because you get to search for Trunks instead of Goten. And we are running 4 of those. Next, we are running Sun Goten and Trunks Faultless Youth. 15,000 attack, 5,000 combo, activate main. If you pay green energy and your leader card is a Green Gotenks and you place 1 card from your life in your drop area, play this card from your hand. So instead of having to pay the 3, you can take 1 from your life, pay 1, and boom. Oh, you don't draw it, you put it into your drop area. So that, I mean, that's kind of a bummer, but there are ways you can work around that to get that card back, possibly. Then second, activate main if your leader card is a Green Gotenks card, and you return this card to its owner's hand. Look at up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 Green Gotenks card or 1 Green Unison with a specified cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Pretty sweet ability. The best part about this card is, if you look right down here, it counts as a Sun Goten or Trunks Youth. So for Fusion, that's actually really helpful, because we're also running 4 of these, and if you happen to have 2 copies of these in your hand, bam, you have a Trunks and a Goten, and then you can fuse. And speaking of Fusion, let's talk about our first Fusion. And we've got Prodigy Fusion Super Saiyan Gotenks. 15,000 power, 10,000 combo if you pay an energy. Then its Union Fusion is if you pay 2 energy, and then place 1 Goten and 1 Trunks Youth into your drop. Boom. Fusion. He has dual attack, so when he attacks, he can restand after he attacks. It's a pretty awesome ability. And then, the reason we have a smaller Gotenks like that in here is for this Gotenks right here, because he actually is not a Union Fusion. He is an Evolve. Ghost Attack Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, the reason he's in here is if you look at his ability, he's got an Evolve for 4. He's a 5-drop for 20,000 power, 10,000 combo if you pay an energy. But he's got Evolve, so if you... any Gotenks, no energy restrictions, no requirements, no... it just has to be a Gotenk, so it could be this Gotenks, another one of these Gotenks possibly, if you wanted to. One of these Gotenks, or one of these Gotenks. And you could just evolve into this, and then it's a permanent ability. If you have 4 less cards in your hand, this card and all your ghost tokens gain double strike, which is insane for this deck, honestly. And then it's got an auto ability. When you play this card, play 3 ghost tokens, and that's part of the reason why it's so crazy, because we're playing with a full play set of these, so that's a whole 4 of those. So if you're able to get all 4 of them out onto the battlefield, that's 4 of them, and then 12 ghost tokens. And if you have 4 less cards in your hand, all of them gain double strike. OP, broken, super broken. Alright, next on the list we got Super Saiyan Gotenks Friendship Fusion. We only have one of these because that's all I had in my collection. But it's got unique, so you can only have one of them on the battlefield at a time. Union Fusion, so 1 green Goten, 1 green Trunks Youth, and if this card would be removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill, you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it instead. So, say they're trying to remove it with a skill, and you just really don't want to lose it because you need it right now, because you're about to evolve it into this Gotenks, or for whatever reason, you have the option to just discard a card instead. Alright, next on the list is going to be Gotenks the Grim Reaper of Justice. It's got Deflect, Dual Attack, Union Fusion, so for 2 energy, discard Goten Trunks Youth, boom, Fusion. Got an auto ability. If your leader is a Green Gotenks card, when this card is played, draw 2 cards, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Another auto ability that when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or KO'd, add up to 1 Sun Goten or 1 Trunks Youth card from your drop area to your hand. So it's awesome. This card gets KO'd for whatever reason. You get to go into your drop, grab the Goten and the Trunks that you used to fuse to bring this guy out, and then you can use them to fuse for another Gotenks. Awesome ability. And then that concludes our battle cards. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the extra cards we have in the deck. And the first one we're running is Boo Boo Volleyball. Counterattack, if your leader is a Green Gotenks, negate the attack, you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, add up to 1 Green Sun Goten with 15,000 power and up to 1 Trunks Youth with 15,000 power from your drop area to your hand. So that's awesome, because not only do you get to stop your opponent's attack, but you also get to go into your discard pile, grab a Goten and a Trunks to use for fusion, again, if you need to, or even want to. You don't have to if you choose not to, which is also pretty awesome that it gives you the option. We're running 4 of those. Oh, as well as we're also running 4 of the Grim Reaper of Justice. If I did not mention that, I apologize. Alright, next card we're running is one of my favorite green extra cards, honestly, and that's Blue Impulse. It's a 2-drop, but it's got a permanent ability. If your leader card is green and you have a green unison in play, reduce the energy cost in your hand by 1, so it becomes a 1-drop if your unison's in play. And then its activate main, if your opponent played a battle card this turn, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and KO them. So if your opponent's just been ramping their field and all of a sudden they're getting ready to just swarm you, and you have one of these in your hand and the energy to pay for it, they throw a battle card out, bam, you play it, kills all of their battle cards, their plan's ruined. It may buy you the 1 or 2 more turns that you need to maybe come back and pull the game out. Alright, next one we're running is going to be Super Ghost Kamikaze Attack. If Gotenks is in your leader area or battle area, play 2 ghost tokens. That plays into the ability of our Super Saiyan 3 Ghost Kamikaze Gotenks, because if you remember, if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, if that card is on the field, him and all ghost tokens get 5,000 power and double strike, correct? Or is it just double strike? It's just double strike. Sorry about that. It doesn't get the 5,000 boost, just the double strike. But that's still pretty awesome. And we're running 3 of those because we don't have a 4th one available to us. Now, we're running. Next card we're running is 2 copies of Piccolo's Help. If you have only 3 or less cards other than this card in your hand, choose 1 Gotenks with 15,000 power or less in your drop area and play it. So that's pretty helpful. The only downside to this one is we only have 1 Gotenks that has 15,000 power. And I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but maybe someday soon we'll have more to work with once we get more packs and work a little harder on getting all this stuff done. And like I said, we're running 2 copies of that card. Now the last card we're running is To Save a Hopeful Future. We're running two copies of this card. You get to choose up to 1 green battle card with an energy cost of 5 or less in your drop area and play it. So that is very helpful because there are only 2 green battle cards in the entire deck that cost more than 5, and that's our 2 Gotenks. So we would be able to play any of our other battle cards, search out and use them, say Gokul, to search out our Saiyans that we want with the Union Fusion ability, or Trunks if we need another one to try and get our Unison. And it's just a great card to run in this deck. Honestly, it's a great card to run in any green deck, to be 100% honest. And then that's going to almost conclude the video. I will go over what the leader card does one more time, and then we will wrap it up. So the leader card, when it draws, boom. And then when you get your Unison card on the board, or if you have 4 or less life, you can awaken this card, draw 1 card, switch one of your energy to active mode, and then draw till you have 6 life left, and flip this card over. And then this ability, your opponent's leader cards can't attack your battle cards, which is awesome. And when this card attacks, you get to draw 1 card, and then once per turn, if you pay 1 energy, you get to choose one. You can choose one of your opponent's Unison cards and remove a marker from it, or you may choose 1 green card in your hand, discard it. If you do, play 2 ghost tokens in rest mode, which go back to this Gotenks right here, making all your ghost tokens have double strike. Awesome, awesome, awesome deck. I've only played it against my friends, but it's pretty dominant, and that's all I can really say about it. If you like this video, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe, comment, and share. Let me know what you thought. Let me know of any ideas that you may have for future content, and stay nerdy.